Not them trying to get Huda to crash out, but instead her and Louis were the mediators of the drama. I gotta give it to Huda and Louis. I think they did handle the whole Juliet situation the best way possible.
Today we are back again with another Love Island update, and you already know that Love Island stars are in Coachella, and we have the Love Island Coachella series on the channel. I'm going to link the episode 1 in the description box if you haven't watched it, so you can go ahead to watch. But now we are back to our regular updates, and we're going to start with Nic. You know, the last time in the last video we had like where people were saying that Nic actually approved some comments that were against him and Olandra's relationship. They were talking about him dating Molly, and Nic replied saying that he doesn't actually know how those comments got approved. So another comment got approved, and the comment was insulting Nic, saying you are such a ham. And Nic actually used that comment to reply saying, multiple times this app approves messages I don't approve. So again, to the unemployed people on TikTok making videos about me and can't comprehend this, that's fine, you are just a walnut brain. Trying to say that the Snapchat app approves message that he doesn't approve. So the message about him and Molly that was approved was not from him, but just the app glitching and approving comments that he doesn't approve, because he even approved the comments insulting him. And then another person made this Snapchat comment to him saying, will you be Ken at Alandra for Coachella, or is this going to be a repeat of Vegas where you guys are doing your own separate things? I think telling us sooner rather than later will avert a bunch of discourse. And Nic replied saying, we don't owe you shit, girl. And that is true, because the fact that they are not together doesn't mean that they are separated. It doesn't mean that you should start making video or propaganda. Nic is going to Coachella with Gogo, and he's going to DJ at Agua de Cafe, and Alandra is going to Coachella with Barbie. The both of them have their own separate brand, they have their own jobs, they're not going to be together all the time. So you trying to make it seem like it's a must that Nic must become Ken at Alandra, like the joint Nic and Olandria brand, for people to stop talking about them and their relationship. They don't owe you anything, truthfully, and he's right. And then Nic went on, I think, a podcast or a show where he was talking about, like, people were asking him questions about himself and his relationship and his family. I'm not going to put any clips from the show because I don't want to be copyrighted, but this is the name of the show, so you can go watch Smith Sisters Live. But I'm going to put down some things that he was asked. So Nic was asked, if you need advice, who in your family do you go to? And he said he goes to his dad for taxes, my mom for emotional needs, my sister and Alandra for fashion advice. Alandra, if I ever need a relaxed response to things, she won't fabricate anything, she won't soften anything, she will tell me straight. And these are like the people that he goes to for advice, and the different reason why he goes to these people for advice. I'm going to see just from what he said that Alandra runs a street program. She's not even playing with anybody, and she's very focused, and she knows what she wants. And then they also asked him like how him and Alandra became close with Jordan and Kat, because they took a picture together. And Nic was like, my friend's dad is the president of the Knicks, so I've gotten really close with Jalen, Kat, and Jordan Wood. Alandra is close friends with her, which is Jordan Wood. Kat gave me a PS5 and he will still test me. It's kind of cool becoming friends with people you have seen on TV since you were young. So he also has like a little connection. People should not like seem like he doesn't know anybody or have anything. And then he was also asked about like this All-Stars game, because we already know that Alandra was the one that made the outfit. She custom made the outfit herself. Nic wasn't even aware she was going to wear Nic Vans behind her clothes. So he was like, at the All-Star game, Alandra came out in the 67 dress, and I was like, if I don't drop 15, I'm going to be disappointed. She got this whole custom jersey for me, so I dropped 2, but it was on Jeremiah Lane, so that 2 counts for 15. And it's a very funny thing, like he saw his girl, like she was rooting for him, and he was like, oh, I don't even have the right to fail because my girl is here and she's rooting for me, and that's cool. And then he was also asked about like how he feels and his family feels about people saying different things about him. And he was saying that his family were not very happy about certain things that have been said about him, because this is not how he was trained, that those are not the values his family stand by. And someone was like, they hate those allegations real fucking bad. And a lot of allegations that Nic and his family has been that have had placed on them, especially the MAGA allegation. And when he was always talking about the fact that his family does not like certain allegations because this is not the value they stand by, this is not how they were trained, this is not what they believe in. And someone was like, oh, him and his family hate the MAGA allegations because he kept saying this is not what we believe in, this is not what we value. So I really feel like his family sees everything as he said, and they are not happy about certain allegations. And it doesn't really make sense for someone to just take in certain allegations because they are popular. But I just hope him and his family can get through it. But he was also asked about his music. They asked him, how do you keep up with music and decide what to include in your sets? And he replied, something I appreciate about myself is I have a really wide range of music taste. One day it will be the EDM, another dubstep, drum and bass, but the next day it will be R&B. I love reggae, I love rap. So he was just talking about the fact that he had many music tastes, so it's not going to be boring for him to be able to like switch up songs during his set. I'm really happy he's getting interviews that are asking him about his career, so that shows that his career is doing well. But then in this podcast, Nic was also asked why he said that dating Alandra is like dating a grown woman, and that Alandra is the first grown woman he was dating, because he was asked in a former interview what he feels about dating Alandra, and he was like, Alandra is the first grown woman he's dating. And here in this podcast, he's saying that the reason why he said Alandra is the first grown woman he is dating is because Alandra is always there to like tell him what to do. That when he's doing something messy, Alandra is there to tell him stop doing that. Alandra is there to like guide him and make him like, because he's always like very free and behaving like, you know, a man child, a child. But Alandra is there to tell him, now focus on this. This is what you are supposed to do. And some people don't have an issue with that, because someone was like, this dude Nic admitting to basically mammifying Alandra, having to check him when he acts out or goes to club. Why is she playing your second mother? But Nic Olandria think this is romantic. Free Alandra. And this person is trying to say that Nic is like making Alandra behave like she's his mommy, guiding him and telling him what to do and what not to do. And you already know that this rumor has went around again the last time when they had this picture where Alandra was in front of Nic and was like posed like she was like protecting him, and people were saying that Nic was mammifying Alandra, which is what all white men do when they are dating black women. But I really do think that in a relationship, someone is like the focused person, someone is like the free one, someone like is like the one that has everything together, while another person is the one that always ensures that people can have fun. Someone is the matured one, while someone is the baby. So it just doesn't matter if it's the female that's the matured one and the man is the baby. If the roles are reversed, somebody is going to have an issue with it. So I don't see an issue with this at all. But now coming to Alandra, we already know that Alandra is going to Coachella with Barbie. We talked more about this in the Love Island Coachella series. Episode 1 already dropped. Episode 2 is going to drop today. I'm going to put the link of episode 1 in the description so you can watch if you haven't. And please don't forget to subscribe to keep up with the update. And again, as we go on, we already know that Alandra is going to Coachella with Barbie. And then when that was announced, there was a lot of news, like the announcement was trending. So Alandra made this tweet and she said, since I got everyone's attention, new vlog drops today at 3 p.m. That is a new vlog on her YouTube channel. And she actually dropped a vlog on her YouTube channel, which is her Paris Milan Fashion Week vlog behind the scene as always. So if you haven't watched, you can go check it out and watch it. But then again, she went and she quoted this tweet she made in 2020, and the tweet was like, if I had $1 for every time somebody said I looked like Barbie, I would be rich. And then she quoted the tweet and she said, such a full circle moment. And this full circle moment is like, she was talking about people calling her Barbie since 2020. And now in 2026, she's collaborating with Barbie to go to Coachella. Is really a full circle moment. But Alandra also made this TikTok in 2023 where she was like, somebody tell Barbie I'm ready for my collab now. And the caption of the TikTok was, oh, nothing, just waiting on my modeling career to take off. And you can see now that she's actually working with Barbie and she is modeling, and her modeling career has taken off. And people were in the comment section like, Alandra, give me your manifestation journal, give me like your manifestation guide, because everything she has manifested just comes to pass. And then she also attended Fashion Trust US award night. Is like a fashion award night. I really truthfully do not like this outfit. I don't know why, but apart from that, She also made this Insta story where she tagged herself wearing her outfit at Fashion Trust US, and she now said, "Thank you," tagging Anastasia Beverly Hills for having me at Fashion Trust. Had the best time last night. So it seems like Anastasia Beverly Hills were the ones or the brand that invited her to Fashion Trust. And Anastasia Beverly Hills is like a semi-luxury beauty brand. It's actually big and popular. And she also took a picture with the president and creative director of Anastasia Beverly Hills. So are we seeing a collaboration between Alandra and Anastasia Beverly Hills in the future? We do not know, but this is like the partnership that they had, and they invited her to Fashion Trust US award night. I can't get into this dress. I don't know why. I just can't get into it. I feel some people like it, but for me, this is a miss. I just don't get it. Maybe I just don't get the fashion of it. I don't know. But I really didn't like the dress. I didn't like her in the dress. I didn't like the choker. I didn't like anything. But then some of Nic and Olandria fan or Olandria fan like had a Twitter space where we were talking about like Nick's podcast, which is the Smith Sisters podcast that he went to. And you can see that almost everybody's PFP is just pink and is Barbie, just because Olandria is collaborating with Barbie at Coachella. And we talked about this in the Love Island Coachella series, where one of an Olandria fan that knows like the Barbie influencer team took a picture of all this and sent it to the Barbie influencer team to show them that Olandria has the influence and she has the people that are standing behind her, and that's like a very big deal for Alandra. But then Olandria also made this Insta story. She was like, "Been on set since 6 a.m. Red Bull gonna save me every time," with a picture of her drinking Red Bull. And this is either a paid Insta story promotion or a teaser for a future Red Bull collaboration, because truthfully, influencers and celebrities don't just post brands. So maybe Red Bull collaboration is in the future, we don't know. But you already know that Alandra made this tweet since I got everyone's attention. New vlog dropped today at 3 p.m. after like her Barbie Coachella collaboration went viral, and someone now replied to the tweet saying, "Of course, everybody wants to talk about the queen." And Alandra replied the person saying, "The topic and the top pick. I understand and I love the fact that she knows who she is." And then Coco Gauff has been dragged recently because she was seen with her natural hair and people were saying that she was very ugly. So she went to TikTok to actually address that, and she was talking about the fact that everybody, especially black women, should see themselves as beautiful no matter what, because even if you are beautiful, people are still going to call you ugly, saying that people call like top beautiful black women like Beyonce ugly, Rihanna ugly, and she now mentioned Alandra too. Do you see the people that her name is being related to? Do you actually see like the people that are even calling her name? Like Coco Gauff is like a big deal in the athletics industry, not just even in the black athlete industry. And someone posted the video and said, "Coco Gauff calling Alandra one of the most beautiful girls in the world. Bless her and fuck anybody that finds joy in picking apart a woman's appearance." But then Alandra's fan did something that I think personally is supposed to be above them. They're not even supposed to be engaging in this kind of conversation again. We already know that Chelley is going to Coachella with Cierra Cosmetics. I talked about that in the Love Island Coachella series. If you have watched it, you already know. If you haven't watched it, you can go check it out. And then an Alandra fan came to Twitter to tweet this. She said, "The Cherry Never on Top is going to Coachella with a notoriously racist / anti-black brand, Cierra Cosmetics, a professional token black. The jokes write themselves. The virtual signal squad against Nic and Olandria is down bad behind their problematic faves this week." And then someone replied her saying, "Olandria worked with McDonald's that is currently sponsoring genocide in Gaza, fitting for her as the MAGA girlfriend." And that is why I say this is not needed, because now people are bringing back and trying to bring back this allegation of Nick being a MAGA and Olandria working with McDonald's, which is supporting a genocide. Another person replied saying this when your fave is known for working with problematic brand like Sweet Green, whose workers sued them for racial discrimination, and is dating a MAGA guy who, along with his friends, throws laws around like dollar bills at a strip club. Yeah, the jokes." Another person said, "You didn't remember racism when your own fave worked with brands like Sweet Green, Amica, McDonald's that are notorious for systematic workplace racism or their complicity in the Gaza conflict. you do not have the range for this conversation. I don't really think this conversation should have started at all. Just focus on your fave. Like, Alandra has a big thing going on. She's working with Barbie, and then you are focusing on someone else and starting a conversation that would not even end well for Alandra, because a lot of brands are problematic. And someone was like, the hidden replies, in case anyone was wondering, and these hidden replies were not good at all, because a lot of brands are problematic, as I said, and as a starting influencer, you cannot even start picking and choosing which brands you work with, because that means you end up not working with any brand and you end up not making your money or your name in the industry. And some of the hidden replies went, you are a deranged clown, shut the fuck up. Ola is working with McDonald's and maybe more problematic brands. Bitch, like, shut the fuck up. This person said, not shut up. Another person said, don't you all finally have the Barbie you all have been begging non-stop for? Why aren't you celebrating? Ta is suddenly anti-black. I'm not one to say, but Ta has been controversial for a while, but that's not my business. And person continued, the same Ta that Jana attended Coachella with last year and sponsored her birthday trip. Why are you all so bothered anyway? You are really are some clowns. Another person went, that girl has a portfolio of racist brand. You all need to see this one out. Someone again called out the brands that Alandra has worked with that are problematic. She called out McDonald's, Microsoft, Alexandra Ring, Palestine, Files, Rape, shut the fuck up please. And she continued, I don't give a fuck about Chelley, but this is the list of your problem. You all are so disgusting and weird. And then the next person said, no, your fave is the one that hangs and holds hands with rapists, and Alexandra Wang has like this rapist controversy allegation against him, and Alandra has won Alexandra Wang to Fashion Week. Another person said, you need to stop this weirdness, by the way. Like, you don't have to like the girl, but Ta Cosmetics sponsored Jana's birthday. They follow Alandra and she follows them back. This will backfire on the person you claim to support. Why can't you leave Islanders alone and focus on the one you like? Exactly. Because Star Cosmetics is a big cosmetics brand and Alandra follows them. What if they want to work with her, but again, they are seeing that some of her fans are dragging them? Another person said, I think you're goofy, but you are grown. But leave my people out of this shit. It's been almost a year and you all are hell-bent on forcing them into Love Island discourse. Don't nobody care what that girl got going on. And under Alandra fan told that delete. Alandra literally follows that brand. So does PPG. Enough. Another person said, you all didn't say anything when Ta hosted Jana's birthday. But everything is always an issue when it comes to Chelley. Very interesting. And a Chelley fan came saying, you all don't want to go down the road of who collaborated with some problematic brands, trust me. And as I said, a lot of brands are problematic. And yeah, Alandra has collaborated with a fair share of problematic brands. McDonald's is one of them, Alexandra Wang is another one, even Amazon is problematic for some people. And then Alandra fan told her, you are obsessed with talking about other people you claim are cares. And seriously, I don't know the reason why this discourse happened. It shouldn't have happened at all, because a lot of brands are problematic. From our last update video, we know that Chelley received like a secret package which like invited her to their recent secret creator event in Paris. If you haven't watched it, check it out in the channel, and don't forget to subscribe to join the community. And at this event, she actually met Clarke and they took like videos and pictures together. And it seems like the friendship is growing with their clique, which is Chelley, Clarke, and also Cierra, because you know that Cierra and Chelley also met at Cierra's recent party that she hosted in collaboration with Azazie in honor of Coachella. And also, some people that attended that party include Andrenia and Clarke again. So this clique, which is Chelley, Andrenia, Cierra, and Clarke, are becoming very close recently. And I think about 3 of them are already confirmed to be going to Coachella, which is Andrenia, Chelley, and Cierra. I don't know if Clarke is going to Coachella, but that means Coachella is going to be a hot cake. And as I said again, we're going to take that up in the Love Island, the Coachella series, that the episode 2 is going to be dropping today. So do well to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. But this recent friendship got some people talking, and someone was like, it seems like the friendship is calculated on her end, and they are either talking about Chelley or Cierra. And she continued, now before the obsessed second fan base member who is still busy that Nic got with Alandra, save the dissection because I don't give a damn. Another person said, I bet they are all talking about Alandra. And someone replied, girl probably got a group chat and everything. Another person said this already when the breakup happened, but sure, 5 months on the clock. And they're trying to say that the Cierra, Chelley, Clarke, and Andrenia friendship that is just like thriving so fast is not really real, that they are just ganging up together because they are trying to hit on Alandra. I don't really know. Another person said, not that I would expect anyone to not be friends with her, but something about this doesn't look genuine to me. Another person replied, at all, because they all distanced themselves from her at one point, and you're talking about Cierra, that everybody distanced themselves from her at one point. Another person replied, Coachella will be interesting to say the least. And Coachella will be very interesting. If you are following the Love Island Coachella series, you will see where I was talking about a brand, Agua de Cafe, which seems like it's hosting almost all the Love Island stars like Jeremiah, Andrenia, TJ, and Nic is going to be the DJ for the party. So maybe Alandra is going to come, because Nic and Olandria has already collaborated with Agua de Cafe first when they came out from Love Island house. Another person replied, my couple need a restraining order on everyone at this point. And they're talking about Nic and Olandria needing a restraining order on everyone at this point, because Andrenia is close friends with Jeremiah, and Jeremiah is close friends with Nic and Olandria. And then now Andrenia is friends with Cierra, and she's taking like pictures and creating content with her. I don't really know how their friendship circle is moving, but who am I to judge? I don't know anything in the inner circle. We are just going to keep watching to know what is going on. But if you watch the last update video, you see where I say that Huda should avoid reality TV, but it seems like the Unwell Winter Games show is like the best show for Huda right now, because it's helping her clean up her image. Instead of Huda like crashing out, always crying, being toxic the way she was in Love Island, on the Unwell Winter Games show, Huda is like the meditator. She's like the fun girl. She's like the one that everybody is close to, the one that everybody loves, the one that is always there for everybody, and she's cleaned up her image so well. I think it's either one of the two things. Is either Huda actually went for therapy, or she actually has a very good PR team right now that's telling her what to do. Because this game, she's clean it. People are there talking about her. She's there like helping people. She's there like making the game fun. And even when like the creator of the host of the game tried to ask like a certain question to get her to crash out, she actually didn't crash out.
If Huda wasn't here, who do you think Louis would hook up with?
We already know that Huda is like a very jealous lover that is partially dependent on her partner. And we know that she's very jealous over Louis, and she's dependent over Louis from, we already know, like the text messages that we saw during the restraining order saga. So for the host to ask that kind of question that almost like give Louis leverage to be with another person apart from Huda, they were really waiting for Huda to like crash out the way she normally does. But she was very cool and collected. She didn't really crash out. She just said that the question was weird. And then Louis answered saying he's not going to be with anyone. We even see her like hugging and caring for one of the girls in the Unwell Winter Games show, which is JC, that is being bullied. We actually see her talking calmly to Cameroon, her habitual hater that's been hating her right from TikTok, right from Love Island. He said a lot of things about her, called her a bitch, called her a dumb person, a lot of things. And we see her like having civil conversations with him. We see her like talking to Dakota about his issue with Taylor, Frankie Paul, a lot of things. We see her being the mediator along with Louis. So this show is actually like helping her clean up her image instead of making it worse. So as I said again, is that she actually went to therapy, which is a good thing, or she has a very good PR team that is telling her what to do. But in the end, it seems like this show is a better option for her than not even going to the show at all. So if you go to TikTok now, she's just like, people are just full of praise for her and what she's doing on the show. So yeah, Huda, well done. The show was a good idea anyway, and that is good for her. In all, I think like everybody is moving. As we already know, this is like Coachella season. More things are going to be happening at Coachella ground that everybody is at. I don't think Huda is going to Coachella, but more things are going to be happening at the Coachella ground. I'm going to keep you updated in Love Island Coachella series, so don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.